because I can edit stuff as well. So.
Hey everyone, this is Nat.
Hi, I'm Arty, and that was an interesting introduction.
Yeah, that was after doing his like, wait, I don't want to plan, let's plan.
Yeah. It's, I'm going to actually record. We should actually record how we organise these videos. And
Different 3 minutes beforehand.
Yeah, that's right. It's a good idea. Let's check the teeth. So how should we do this? I don't care. Let's just do whatever.
Just kind of like what we just did.
Yeah, pretty much. So welcome everyone to our second instalment.
Yes, of the Arty and Nat show.
So
happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to initially our original plan was to be specific with each episode, but every week's just so different for all of us. And so we thought maybe let's try and curb it and just talk about, what's been going on for us, what kind of things that we've been feeling. Yeah. And
because we just had lunch and we're solving each other's problems, and I'm like, this is probably better for the video, actually.
Good idea, Nat.
Yeah. Thanks, Arty. Where would you be without me? So, what was your problem this week?
Oh, why did you have to ask her like that? Why couldn't you just ask me, like, hey, how was your week? Why does there have to be a problem to it?
How was your week? What would you like to share with me and all of our viewers this week?
Well, I've had an interesting week, but not so much as in interesting stuff, but emotionally interesting, where I've just felt, I don't know, kind of heavy this week, and I felt a lot of real slippery thoughts coming and going, and things that I've been avoiding, just that sort of stuff. I'm just really heavy.
What do you mean by slippery thoughts?
Well, see, normally I'm okay with in general, but then sometimes you just have those little niggling thoughts, and because I had the antibiotics as well, and so part of me is wondering,
bacteria.
Like it really affected me, and I was really surprised at how much it had affected me, and things that I'd normally be okay with, all of a sudden I wasn't. Like it was, and that's what I mean by the slippery thoughts. It'd be like all these real little negative things just slipping in. I'm just like, dude, what's going on?
And that's the mind-gut connection, which is huge.
I didn't look at it like that.
Yeah. Because I had to deal with that a lot. Because I was on antibiotics for 2 years after the cornea transplant. And man, like I never experienced anxiety or like irrational thought so much as when my stomach was being pumped with all this bad bacteria.
Yeah, right. Interesting.
So I did lots of research on it.
Interesting. Yeah, maybe I should do the same.
It's normal for you to be feeling that
Ask
way.
Dr. Google.
No, ask
Dr. Nat. Yeah. So how was your week?
Oh man, I had the biggest epiphany. Hey, so I'm balancing, being out of society for 3 months and having to catch up on that because I've been in the Buddhist meditation retreat, and I'm about to go away again onto another retreat because that's what I like to do, and I'm not working just yet, so bumping all that in. So I've got to plan for that trip, got to organise my return to my office job, doing a rebranding for Wellness with Nat, had a Reiki weekend that I really wanted to mentor people for, had my meditation, there was a big talk with my meditation group that I really wanted to go to and be part of, plus there was a big birthday party I wanted to go to, and I was like, started to feel the pressure, and my epiphany was something that I got taught through Buddhism teachings, is that I choose to have these things, and I choose to do these things. It's actually me who chooses how I feel. So that every time I'd go, ooh, and any of my friends that have messaged me or spoke to me over the last week have got doing this kind of thing. But it's but I choose to. So I came to the realization that my busyness is a choice, because I can take off any of those things and I'll miss out on doing things I want to, or miss out on contributing or supporting or being a friend or being a daughter or whatnot. But it's still my choice. Because in Buddhism, you don't have all this shit. Like, you don't have stuff. You don't have to do it.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's society that says
like there's a little part of me that really wants to pick on you, but I don't know. I don't know what to pick on you about yet.
Because it's awesome. It is so real, and that's the awesome thing about Buddhism stuff is like it just, I want to do all those things.
Right.
So my life's gonna be busy.
Let's see what happens next episode. Let's see how much of that is choice. But you're kind of right though, like deeper down, I've been looking a lot at law of attraction stuff.
Yeah.
And just trying to get that in my mind as well. But it's pretty true. And it's hard because like subconsciously we've got all this subconscious we've got all this subconscious stuff going on that pushes us towards uncomfortable choices as well. And so like consciously we're like, yeah, no, I don't want this to happen, but it's happening.
Yeah.
And like, the law of attraction, is like, well, this is all you know, so this is all we're going to give you.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, why am I in this shit constantly?
That's right. Yeah. And so, because I could feel my body responding in anxiety and stress, like, because that my days are packed right now, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? Like, I've just spent all this time in retreat. I don't want to go back to that stressed and heightened stress state on my body. My body's healing, my eyesight's doing well, my anxiety is doing well. Why am I getting all these symptoms? Quick stop. And then when I reflected and realized it's a choice, I have a choice to do those things.
Yeah.
And I've had to let go. So there's lots of wellness with Nat projects. I've just gone, well, you're going to have to you're not going to be able to happen at the same time.
Yeah.
So things had to give way. And then, like instead of going to Reiki on Sunday, I went to the Lizzie's birthday party and hung out with Abe and did the meditation thing. And so I had to compromise my time, but instead of getting flustered about it, I could do it from a calm perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because even to get to that point of choice, like a lot of work had to occur before that, like to understand that choice as such, because like we make it sound really easy, and everybody makes it sound really easy. All you got to do is think this, and all you got to do is be this, and all you got to do is be that. Like a lot of it's really unrealistic, I believe, in many respects, but then there's a truth to what's being said as well. But I don't think people realize how much work actually is involved before it becomes a choice, and
how much you need to kind of ruminate on the idea. Because Lama Chodak, my head Buddhist teacher in Canberra, he it was probably about 3 years ago, I first heard him say, people that say they don't have enough time, like you Westerners are just, you have as much time as you want, you go fill your day with busyness.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that is so not true. And the first time
is true.
And then, I listened to his talks and the Dalai Lama's talks or other, Buddhist talks. And so it slowly started
feeding.
Yeah. And but now that I've got it, it just, I've got to prioritize what's important.
Yeah.
And stuff. And, those that have a 9-to-5 job that pays for your mortgage and food and all of that's important. So, I'm not saying don't work, but it's what of the extra things can you move around to get more time.
Well, actually last week I listened to one of Donald Trump's audio books and go Trump.
I can feel like all the
should we edit that? But anyway, and like what I thought really, one of the things that really struck me in his book was where he was talking about your intuition and aligning your physical actions with your intuition. And that really, really hit home for me in the sense that how many times intuitively have we not done something because we're afraid of doing, but our intuition is saying, hey, don't do that.
Yeah.
Yet our body, just goes ahead and does it anyway. And I thought that was a really interesting approach, just aligning the intuition with the physical body as well, instead of the mind, because you've got the intuition and the mind's like, it's too much, it's too hard to do or whatever.
Well, and that's where ego goes, belly,
that's right. It just cuts it off.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really interesting. And I thought, if we're looking at like choice as well, like from your week, you've chosen, you've aligned that stuff to actually happen. So then your physical body goes ahead and does the choices you've made.
Yeah, that's
rather
true,
than going against your intuition, or you've already set it up and you've already created it, and now you're just acting it out.
Yeah, and once I put, there's the next adventure block, there's the returning to my office job block, there's the wellness with Nat 6 blocks. Okay, way too much. Cut them down to the bare bones. And then because I've got my healing block and I still need to rest so much every day, so my day has a lot less hours than those lucky people that can get up and meditate from 5 a.m. and be working through till 10 or 11 p.m. to get the work done. Like, that's not a physical option. So I had to learn to manipulate my day. And after seeing how sick I was getting from stress, I was like, hell no, that is not happening again. Not happening. My body is doing well. What can I do to support my body?
Interesting. And I think maybe for me as well, being so on the down low, it's and I think like integrating just that, like integrating the body and intuition, it's made me reflect on a lot of things in my life and in my past where intuitively I should have been doing blah, but I chose something else instead. And can
you think of any examples so that people know what you're talking about?
I guess like even like it's hard because you got the whole where everything's been ordained for us, and then it's like the lessons in life, and you've got all these interesting factors, but then I guess through relationships, through business choices, work choices, even food, as simple as food, the amount of times I'll eat something just out of laziness, where my guts are saying, no, don't, but I'll eat it anyway. And then I'll feel sick, and then I'm like, why am I feeling sick? Like just little things like that. But it actually takes a lot of strength, I think, and a lot of like it sounds really easy, but it's not. It actually takes a bit of discipline as well, and practice.
Because it's that discipline to make the healthier meal with the fresh veggies and whatnot. That's going to take more time and effort and more dishes and possibly a trip to the shops versus the time saving meal that your mind is like, that's where your ego and your mind's like, man, just you're tired, just do this option. Where your intuition's saying, but if you do that, I'll feel better. And I'll give you more energy for longer.
It's ironic, isn't it? So what do you suggest we can do to help align these things? Any ideas?
So
Miss Buddha.
Totally Miss Buddha.
Buddha Nat.
Except not totally. Actually, why don't Buddha pictures show a fat, happy Buddha? Because
his belly's full.
But he's not actually like most all Buddhists. I mean, like ordained monks type don't have bellies.
I don't know.
Anywho,
I'll find out.
It's distracting.
If there's an answer to that.
I'm sure there is.
Well, maybe it just means like, he's full.
I think it is
It's
like the jolly happy
intuition from the belly and
the jolly happiness.
Maybe.
I think it's doing a life catalogue. So there's actually a handout that I got. If anyone wants it, just flick us a Facebook comment or message. No, I'll give it to you for free. It's fine. Part of my coaching tools is how you spend your time. And but anyone that I've given it to has actually who said that they don't realise. Anyone who I've given it to that's filled it in. I
filled it in.
No, I don't think we did the time. You didn't get that far into the program.
I did not.
No.
Yeah. Nat's program is really awesome.
But then I decided to move house and take the year off work, so program was a problem. But for my one-on-one clients, I give this time. It's a time management sheet, and you actually, like, especially for people that are like, I have no time to do what I want in the day. All I'm doing is routine stuff, and it's driving me crazy. So this sheet actually clocks out. You actually clock out for like a week what you're actually doing during the day, and you get to actually to see right there in front of you. And it is, but if you've got no time, it's actually, well, it only takes a few minutes every day. But people see, this is why my clients achieve results, and Artys.
He achieves different kinds of results. He achieves results from the inside. He doesn't have to prove it from the outside. Oh. I love you, Nat.
No comment. That's why his life is functional.
Yeah, it's very functional.
Yeah. But you can see, like, people realise, by the time I do the cooking, do the washing, get the kids to school, get all those around the house jobs done, there really isn't a lot of time left over to do that hobby. Like, I'm not actually wasting my time like I thought I was. We all find that there are chunks of the day where we spend more time flicking in and out of emails or Facebook and or watching a quick video on YouTube, and you realise that that's eating into your time as well. But it's working out what is important to you, what makes your heart sing and your soul sing, and what's important for yourself and the family, and what you can trim off, because you can trim stuff off. Yeah. So you were telling me before we went live about your feeling, you were quite happy to hear that the astrology energy was making you feel the way you were feeling, contributing to the way you were feeling.
It's not that I was happy. It made me resonate with it. Like I was saying, like, I'm not big on like astrology. Well, I do believe there's a side to astrology, more in the older forms, that have a lot of relevance. But I don't know, there's a side to modern day astrology that I'm not really big on. I think it's too magical in a way, or too wishy-washy.
So what bits were you connecting with?
Look off memory, I can't remember. But
so you were telling me about Mercury retrograde was contributing to your feelings this week?
Well, that's how it appeared. So, because for me, I'm just like down here, and like I'm getting a lot of things coming up that I've avoided, been avoiding, or some of them not even aware of, as well.
You've had a lot of emotional shifting.
A lot, yeah. But like, in saying that, like, even though I've had all this stuff coming up, I've been getting a lot of insight into a lot of that as well. And so now I'm at a point where it's like, all right, are you going to do something about that, or is it just going to come up again later?
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
hang on, wait. So are you going to do something about that, or are you going to let it come up later? Actually, no, just the fact that you thought about it and consciously realised that this is something that's coming up, that you can either do something about now or know that it would come up later. That in itself, any of my friends or clients that get that, I'm just like, yes.
I don't resist these
step
signs.
One. Exactly.
If that makes sense. Like, it's not comfortable, don't get me wrong, like, it's pretty poop.
Yeah.
But there's a lot that I need to hear.
Yeah.
And so I've got a choice to either listen or to shut it off.
Yeah.
And I know by listening it's going to be a little more uncomfortable, but it's going to pass a lot quicker as well.
Definitely.
So, like, by allowing that stuff to say, yes, because of you this happened, or, yes, that person really upset you. Mm-hmm. But, like, spending time with that, it clears much faster, because I'm no longer suppressing it and I'm not holding it. I'm actually giving it opportunity to have it say.
Yeah.
And then by having it say, it's telling me, all right, this is what you need to do. Rather than, no, too much. I don't want this. I'll occupy myself by doing blah instead. I'll spend time with it and sometimes have a cry in the shower, or if it's something that's really upsetting, or just go for a walk or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, we're such liquid, diverse individuals, and it's, to be always stuck on one side, I think it's really healthy to let that stuff come through as well.
And that's, like, Arty's a big meditator as well.
I haven't for a while. Although this is pulling me towards doing that.
Yeah, because the time in the shower and the going for a walk, that's quiet time with yourself.
Yeah, that's right.
And so meditation doesn't have to be on the cushion. Meditation and mindfulness is that being with your mind.
Yeah.
And like allowing yourself a bit of quiet time, you're feeling that issue come up. And then instead of rejecting it, and like you said, staying busy, you're
camera's moving.
Is the camera moving or is your head moving? Okay. Anywho, so professional here. Oh, it is the camera, isn't it?
It's dropping again.
Excellent blue tack quality by Nat. Because by you working on it, so then you notice it, and then you give yourself that quiet time to.
Yeah, sometimes. We still have to do what we have to do.
Yeah.
In this time zone.
But 10 minutes with it.
Yeah.
Is better than nothing.
Yeah, that's right. And for me, it could be just even as simple as just being at home and just chilling out to a movie, or something where you can just switch off a little as well. Or sitting at the park. Last week,
park's good.
It is, like, nature is much nicer than.
A movie's a distraction.
It is a distraction.
But in the park, you've kind of got quiet time.
You do have quiet time, and it was interesting last week. I stopped at the park and just sitting there, and a friend of mine left some bag of like seeds, edible seeds.
Yeah.
And then I'm sitting in the car just looking at the lake, eating them, and then a magpie came over, and I'm like, oh yeah, g'day. So I gave it one, and then another one came over.
Yeah.
And then another one came over.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell? They're all standing on the car, and there was like 30 magpies.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so I sat in the park, and I'm just feeding all these magpies. But it was really beautiful, and it kind of reminded me, life, like actual life.
And how beautiful it is to give.
Yeah.
And to share with any sentient, any living being.
Yeah, and they were really responsive, minus a couple that were really unsure of what was going on.
Yeah.
But over time, like, they came, and then they were actually, like, eating, but really gently, not pecking or afraid. They just come up and just slowly take. Yeah, it was really sweet.
Yeah.
Just spend some time with it. Don't be afraid of those little slippery thoughts, because they are just thoughts. And that's what's crazy about it is, even though they're just thoughts, they affect your being really profoundly. And
if you attach onto them, and that's where both of our coaching work.
I think it affects you more if you try and resist them, because it's like a double load of energy. So you've already got one energy coming up from under.
Yeah.
Trying to say something, but then you're spending a lot of energy trying to push it down as well.
Yeah.
And so you've got this it makes it even heavier, I think.
Yeah, because it's gonna manifest somewhere else in your body.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Depending on.
But what I mean by attach, if you just let me finish speaking.
Yes,
attachment is holding on to the thought, like. What's a thought that I can give? Oh my God, Arthur never listens to what I'm saying, and this is so irritating. But if I remembered all the times that he didn't listen to me and that he didn't understand me, like on the weekend when we were talking about something in Reiki, and he's like, "Oh, that's new." It's like, "Oh my God, I've been talking to you about it for a year." But if I held on to those, like as in thought about. Like kept thinking about them.
It sounds like you're holding on to it to me.
And that would actually have this whole new, it creates this, like a chord, an esoteric chord, really, doesn't it? Do you believe in chords? And a consciousness, yeah. like consciousness.
I'm 50-50 on chords.
Yeah.
50-50.
Entity, consciousness, all those sorts of. So it creates a being, a thing, but an energy. But if you're like, oh, that was Saturday, just let it go. That was Sunday, just let it go. Oh, look, today's Wednesday and we're doing the same thing again. Just let it go. And if you just breathe and let things go and not think about them again, then bring them up with emotional, don't bring them up with emotion. You can bring them up. You can remember it.
You're sinking here, you're sinking really quick.
I'm trying to think, how do they explain it? How does my teacher explain it?
Well, if you look at the energy form in itself, right? Like the moment you have an issue with it, that energy form has been created.
Yes.
Yes. And if, Monday comes and you still have an issue with it, you're just feeding that energy even more.
Exactly.
And then
and
Tuesday comes and then you're feeding it even more. And then what will happen with that, at the moment, it's just a ball of energy. It's nothing just yet, right? But you're feeding it that energy.
Yes.
And the more you feed it, soon it's going to have its own voice and it's going to actually speak on your behalf, where you'll just get so frustrated with the situation that you'll probably snap.
Yeah, so instead of
come
being
out and just blurt out all this stuff that
calm and joking, I would be cranky.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or you might act on it, like let's say you're afraid to speak up. You might act out in another way, like you might cut somebody off on the phone real quickly.
Like, sorry, got another call after I have to go.
But things like that, right? Yeah. Like you'll do everything to avoid it. So what's actually going on with inside of you? Something's actually going on to trigger you to create this attachment. So it may have actually nothing to do with me.
No.
It could just be the way you're listening. But
the fact that you're not listening.
But that's just it. Yeah. And
the way we look at things in Buddhism is that everything's impermanent. Like nothing's
permanent.
Permanent.
Yeah, right.
And no action or thought form, no action or thought it means anything except for what meaning we put on it. And we don't have to put meaning to anything.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just the doing. It's just things just happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we might have to finish it there.
I think we do.
Thanks, Nat. High five.
So takeaways this week. If you're feeling really stressed and busy because there's too much on, remember, jot it down, or in your mind go through what's happening. Then think about what really has to happen right now, and what could we put aside.
Yeah, and if you've been feeling the way I've been feeling, just spend some time with those harder emotions and harder feelings, and you'll find that you'll pass through them much quicker. So even if it does make you want to cry or crawl up and it makes you really uncomfortable, just allow it to happen, and you'll find that it'll pass much quicker, and then there is a new mindset, a new thought process on the other side of that, and just have faith in that and you'll do all right. Yeah.
All right.
Of course I'm right.
Don't say you're right, is it all right?
Oh, did you? Right.
See? Don't listen. Again, what did I just say?
No, I'm going to play this back just to see what you said. All right, guys, have a great week, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
And take care.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Bye. Find the stop button.